Okay, welcome my 202 class. Congratulations. You are the second class who has signed up for a criminal justice class during the pandemic. I'm telling you, the first class, God love them for being able to tough it out. It was tough. It was tough for me because it was the first time I've ever taught online. It was tough for them for keeping up with everything that was thrown at them so fast. So, just like my other classes, I'm going to let you guys know right up front from this PowerPoint because there's always somebody that always asks. Been teaching 9 years now, 999, okay? And they always ask after I say it in English, repeat it about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, okay? I do not accept any late work. Okay? Period. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time in English. Because again, somebody throughout the semester, oh, Ms. Gonzalez, this bad thing happened to me. Here it is. And can I please turn it in late? Okay, here we go. Here's the answer because I know some people get very confused. No late work. Okay? One more time for those who missed that. No late work. Because here's the deal, okay? If you guys had me in class, this is a law enforcement class. For those who are just taking it like, oh, sounds kind of cool, good for you, you guys will get an insight of what's going on. However, you cannot have anything late in law enforcement, period, okay? If your stuff's turned in late in law enforcement, bad guys get kicked out of jail, okay? I've seen it happen. Very sad because a bad guy gets out because somebody turned the paperwork in late. Therefore, now your boss, the sergeant, has to contact you, has to ask you why your paperwork's late. Now a bad guy got out of the street and now a bad guy commits another crime. It's going to come back on you because you did not turn in your paperwork late. You turned in your paperwork late. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to do in this class here. Establish now no late work. Okay. Now, believe it or not, there was a lot of students who were able to accomplish that. Wow, they got their work done in time. Good for them. Okay. Good for them. All right. So here's what happens here. I'm going to give you this PowerPoint here. We're going to go through it. Okay. I'm going to ask you questions on the PowerPoint. Now, I've had students like, hey, why don't you just put the questions all up front and let them know, okay? Because you have to be able to process the information as I'm going through it and telling you guys stuff. So you guys will have to listen to it and hear me and find out what's going on throughout the day. And it's part of the process, okay? So I will ask you questions. That is part of your assignment. Sometimes there's 4 or 5 questions. Sometimes there's 15. It all depends on the subject, okay? And I got the why. I'm like, you're in a law enforcement class and you're going to cry over how much work there is. You're in college, okay? Elementary school and everything now is behind you. This is a college course. College, okay? No crying about the work. Because when you're in law enforcement and you're driving around the street, right? It's about 10:30 at night. You get off at 11. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to go home and relax, right? Hard day at work. And a big call comes in. Okay, big. All right. Oh my gosh. Ring, ring, ring. Officer, come help, come help, come help. Right? And, oh, it's too much work. I can't go right now. Oh, it's way too much. Okay, get over it. All right? So, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background since this is my first class with you guys. You guys know that there's questions here, all right? You should have read my biography already. For those of you who have read it, good job, okay? I worked for the Modesto Police Department for 33 years. I retired out as Assistant Division Commander of the Homicide Team. What does that mean? In general terms, okay? General terms, I started out as a police explorer. Oh, cool stuff, right? In high school, got to wear a uniform, ride out with the real cops. Wow, cool stuff, cool stuff, cool stuff, right? So, I went on, put myself through the police academy while working full-time. Put myself through the academy, By the grace of God, the day I graduate, Chief McKenzie asked me, do I want to be a police officer coming Monday? I graduated on Friday. Monday morning, absolutely, sir. Here I am, right? Took the oath, went into law enforcement, and there I was, driving a black and white patrol car just like you see in the streets every day. Thought I was going to do that the rest of my life. Woo! Living the dream, baby, right? Met my goal, being a police officer. Not good enough. Over the years, I thought, oh, I want to do something cooler. I wanted to promote to detective because I thought detectives were cool. Because anytime we had a big crime out in the street, right? Ring, 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 call the detectives up. They come out in the suits and everything, got the badges on, right? They're going to solve the crime. And I thought that was the coolest. So I promoted to that after taking a bunch of tests, studying really hard and whatnot, okay? And during the detective years, I covered everything, okay? Everything, burglary, forgery, fraud, homicide. But my specialty was the gang unit, okay? The gang unit. 7 years I did in the gang unit. 7 years, okay? Tough assignment. Got really tough towards the end, okay? Hispanic female really doesn't do too well in the gang unit with other gang members that come out of prison and, rule the streets and stuff. But thanks to glorious God, I held my own throughout the years, and I became a expert in the gang unit and put a lot of gang members away during my career, okay? How long did I say I worked for the police department? Okay, overall 30 years because 3 years was Explorer, went on from there, okay? Guess what's happening when you put a lot of gang members away and you put them away for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, right? Guess what's happening? They're all coming out, right? So all the gang members that I put away are all coming out because you can't keep anybody in prison for the rest of their life. Can't do it, right? Can't do it. Nowadays, you can do whatever crime you want, right? And pretty much, what's the penalty? Oh, we can't do anything. We got coronavirus. Let's let out all the sex offenders because it's not a violent crime. So all the sex offenders, here they're all, we didn't do any violence because sex offenders don't have to use violence because they will over and over groom their victims. Okay, groom their victims. Okay, so we're going to stop here. Actually, I'm going to finish here because I have to chunk these up. And sometimes you guys will see the videos, they're chunked up pretty big. But anyway, let's just finish. All right. I have self-diagnosed myself with ADD, by the way. That has served me well over my life, but it gets, but it can always come back. Okay. After detectives, I always thought it was cool, after being a detective for about 12 years, that the bosses always came out after everything was over and wanted to see what's going on, right? Bosses come out, what's happening? Did you do this? And what's happening? I'm the boss, I tell you what to do, okay? I'm like, I wonder what I have to do to get to that point, right? So I went back to school, obtained my BA in organizational leadership, took the test several times to become the sergeant, right? First rank line of supervisor. Yay me! Did it. Was very tough throughout the years, right? First Hispanic female for the police department, first Hispanic female sergeant, first Hispanic female, right? With a lot of stuff going on. So a lot of challenges. All right. So I was a boss, and during that time, I oversaw patrol, oversaw the police explorers, the police reserves, and such over the years. It was awesome. Okay. So, after being the boss for a while, I was also the boss of internal affairs. You will hear me talk tons about internal affairs and bad cops. Cannot stand bad cops. I don't know one cop you talk to, like, oh, love that bad cop. He was the greatest bad cop ever, right? No, why? Why do all police officers dislike other bad police officers? Because they make every one of us look bad. It becomes a massive thing, right? Defund the police. Let's get rid of the police. Bad. Yeah, all cops are bad. Doesn't matter. All cops are bad, right? But you get a teacher who molests kids. You get a doctor who rapes somebody while they're under the influence, having the wisdom teeth pulled, right? Feel free to Google all this stuff. It's out there. I know it's hard to believe, right? Priests, right? doing bad things. You name the gamut. Whatever the occupation is, bad guys out there doing something horrible, right? You never hear, we're going to get rid of all the teachers. All teachers suck, right? They all suck because look at this bad teacher doing this bad thing. So therefore, they must all be bad, right? Oh, look at this dentist did a bad thing. All dentists must be bad when their patients are under anesthesia, right? All doctors must be bad when they do bad things when people are under anesthesia, right? Feel free to Google it. I know it's hard to believe, but you never hear, let's get rid of them all. Why? Because the standard is you have to stand for what's right in society. You are holding other people accountable for their behavior, okay? So that's what happens and that's what goes on. You're in charge of their behavior and holding them accountable for their actions, okay? Even to today, even though I've been out of law enforcement for 5 years and I'm still teaching, I'm held accountable for my actions because God forbid something I do, right? If I do something, it's going to say, former police commander Jolene Gonzalez did this bad thing, right? Because they expect more out of you. They expect more from your family. They expect more from your children. So a lot of things takes precedence during this time. Very interesting. Okay, so boss, very cool. Had a great time. Right, there's my mom. Where'd she go? Hey, Mom. Say hi. That's my mom back there. She's running. Yep. Say hi, Mom. I'll be at her house the majority of the time doing my work because I come over here and make sure she's okay all the time. My mom also worked for the police department. Yes, I'll tell you all about that later. She says, oh, no. Okay. So you might see her wandering back and forth. That's Mom. She's 83. She's going to be 84 years old, doing excellent, still living by herself. Good job, Mom. All right. Back to me. Okay. So here we go. There's a boss over the boss, and that's called lieutenant. So I decided that I want to become a lieutenant. Again, went back to school. I obtained my master's degree. So I became a lieutenant over all these different divisions, all over detectives, all over patrol, all over the training division, range, the horses, what else? There's a lot of, the gang unit, the drug unit, all kinds of stuff I was in charge of. It was awesome. Guys out there doing tons of good work, tons. So amazing to see all this good work that they did, okay? Not good enough. I tried for chief of police twice, was not in the cards, but at least I said I can try, right? If you never, ever will know if you don't try. So tried for chief of police twice and ended up retiring as assistant division commander of the homicide team. So very interesting. So I'm going to stop here. That's all about me, your instructor, Jolene Gonzalez, and we will continue on. All right. We'll see you guys next module.